Hi there. Thank you for your inquiry online. My name is Michael Najm. I'm a realtor here in Central Florida with Dalton Way Realty. On this video, I want to walk you through the basic steps that you want to follow in order to successfully buy your first home or your investment property here in Orlando, Central Florida. Usually, buyers come to me and they want to go straight to the house before checking on the financing. One very important step that you want to take as a home buyer is to secure the financing. How do you do that? You check in to see what means or sources of funding and money you will be using to buy your new home, or in all cases, usually when it's financing, you want to check with a lender to find out the budget and the affordability factors to purchase your home. Sources for funding include obviously financing with government programs such as the FHA, Veterans Loan, USDA, conventional, and other private loans. Also exist such as DSCR, hard money lending, or private loans. They all are very similar. They all are sources of funding. And obviously, the most important one, which is I mentioned last but it's not least, is cash. If you have cash, you can also use those sources of money to purchase your home. Yet, this cash has to be in a bank in the US for at least 2 months. And when you're trying to get funding using financing, it is strongly recommended that you consult with the lender first, submit an application, and check several factors or variables that impact your financing options. When we talk about financing options, we usually can refer to main topics that form part of your financing structure. The main parts are usually your primary information, such as your current residency situation. Are you renting? Are you living with a relative? Are you paying rent? Or something like that. That's very important. All lenders want to check at least 2 years of current residency circumstances on your case. After checking on your personal residency and personal information, such as your name, your social security, and your main residence address, all lenders want to check on which sources of income do you rely on a monthly basis to cover your expenses. When we check that, that's referred as the income part. It usually is a job. Most often than not, you want to find out how much income you get on your full-time job or your part-time job or other sources of personal business that you might have. If you have a corporation, it might be considered as a self-employment. And then we need to check and balance. I'm actually also a lender, and I know all of this. That's why I'm walking you through, because you will need to find out how much income you get on a monthly basis. If you have a full-time job, then it's easier because the monthly income is going to be usually what you receive in the last 2 months. Yet the lender is going to check also in the last 2 years of taxes and W-2 forms what's the annual income, so that we can average and confirm that the monthly income is a sustainable source of income for you to purchase the home. If you're relying on a self-employment or a personal business income, the lender usually doesn't go by the 2 most recent pay stubs and the W-2 forms that we ask for when it's a full-time job. We actually ask for 2 years of filed taxes so that we can average the income in the last 2 years, bring it to a monthly basis. This income is very important because based on this income, then we're going to analyze which ones are the reportable expenses, which brings to the third most important part of the loan or financing application. These monthly expenses usually refer to the expenses that are reportable on your history. Usually these payments refer to credit cards, car payments, and any other recurrent bills that you might have that impact your credit score on a monthly basis. As I say, the main ones usually are credit card, a personal line of credit you might have on some items that you have bought. After the credit card and the personal loan can also refer to a car loan, an auto payment, and obviously then after that there is other sources. I can give you more detailed list of expenses that impact your credit. If you text me, I'll get back with you and give you all the details. But the basic information is that the income minus the expenses are gonna give us, the lenders, the debt to income ratio. The debt to income ratio basically is the income minus the expenses. It will show us how much you can afford to pay on a monthly basis for your primary or investment residency. This brings us to the third or fourth topic actually, which is the savings that you might have for the down payment. When we find out what savings and sources you have for the down payment, it could be obviously your savings, your retirement accounts or retirement programs, or if it's a gift from a family member or a relative, we want to find out how to structure the funding for the down payment. And last but not least is obviously the FICO score for your credit points, the FICO. Ideally, you want to have above 620. Yet, if your credit score FICO is lower than 600, even up to 500, there is cases where we can help and get you financing. The only difference is as you start with the low 500, the down payment that will be required for the loan will be a little higher. Instead of being a 3.5% or a 3 or a 1%, it could be up to 5, 10, or 20% that you might need on the down payment. It doesn't mean you won't get financing. You will get financing, yet the lender wants to secure the money or the loan by using more down payment. In the other case, if your credit FICO is ideally above 620 or 640, we can actually start negotiating with the down payment rates, which can vary anywhere between 0 with a VA loan, 1% with a special promotion, or the general 3.5 for FHA unconventional, or likewise all the way to 5, 10, or 20%. This down payment will dictate the kind of rate and loan options that you can get so that you get better financing. This, my friends, is the first most important critical part, because after you know all of these factors, you will know how much you can afford or what's the purchase price that you can afford in buying a home, and you will also know the monthly budget and payments that you can generally pay towards the main home or investment property that you are trying to buy. Make sure you reach out to me. I will walk you through. I can give you a guide, a detailed guide on all the documentation that you might need to get financing, or guide you step by step, whether you're buying in cash or financing. Make sure you reach out and consult with me so we can find out which kind of properties are the best fit for you, your family, and your budget. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day.